right, guys, for our last trailer breakdown, I reached out to my good friend Jesse Cole. Jesse is a big fan of the Marvel properties, and he and I post a hangout slash self-improvement podcast called Long Lost Brothers, where we inevitably bring up superhero films on a regular basis. He also hosts a podcast of his own called The Jesse Show, so go check that out over on YouTube. All right, here we are talking about the brand new trailer for Loki.
Jesse Cole.
What's up, brother?
What's happening, man?
Not a lot, just doing that meal prep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and jump into this Loki review.
All right.
All right, so you watched the trailer, as you said, probably a couple times, right?
Yeah, but we get there for that.
Okay, yeah, I watched it a few times too, and I think I guess first of all, what did you think overall, like first impression?
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm. My thoughts initially are like, what Loki are we getting? Because that's the Loki that just got done trying to conquer Earth, right?
Yes. Yeah. See, that's the thing. He gets taken, like, when he takes the Tesseract and transports out there, it's like the 2012 Loki. So it's like before he had a chance to turn things around and, like, help his brother and help the Avengers, you know? Yeah, so we're dealing with a different version of Loki than we know now.
Yeah, we're dealing with, like, gangster Loki.
Yes. Like, hell-bent on world domination Loki.
Yeah, and this catching arrows and you know what I'm saying? Like catching arrows from Hawkeye, trying to shoot him when he's riding the alien old chariot. But yeah.
One thing about this, man, is I think that this was, before I saw this trailer, this was the one I was probably least excited about, like, of all these series that were coming. But now that I've seen it, I'm fired up about it. Like, I really want to see it now. It looks really good.
Yeah, and it's also, I think it gives a lot to opening up a lot of other worlds and characters, and you know, him having the Tesseract gives him a lot of travel ability. So
right, he's clearly, and where he goes in this trailer is to a place where they time travel. That's what they do. It's the TVA. If you don't know this, it's from the comic book. It's the Time Variance Authority. So,
right. Okay.
So that's what he's doing. Like, when you keep seeing him in these different places with these weird, like, looking different cultures and stuff, he's traveling through time. And what I noticed is throughout the entire thing, he has like a house arrest bracelet around his neck. You know what I mean?
Okay. So, I didn't catch that, but
I'm guessing that they're making him work for them. Like, maybe go, I don't know, fix shit that's being messed up on the timeline, or like correct things from other time travel or something. But yeah, it looks like they're making him travel around.
Where were they when so what's up with Doctor Strange's the time stone?
Right. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they're not allowed. Maybe they consider like sort of ethics or something.
It could be. I mean, maybe the Avengers traveling through time was like a huge breach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe they're like, sorry, you can't do that. You know, like, who knows what they're going to do. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like, maybe this will then turn him back into the Loki that we know now. You know what I mean? Like, whatever he goes through now.
And this should also, I wonder if this is going to bleed into the, like crossover episodes between like Black Widow and Falcon and Winter Soldier and what have you.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like with time travel, you can open up a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it could definitely cross over into everything. I mean, if he affects the timeline in any way, and also, we're about to get a bunch of movies where they're going, like, there's a multiverse, and now it's going to be obvious, right? We're going to get different Spider-Man. We're going to get different different versions of different characters. We're going to get old villains that we haven't seen from other, from the Fox movies, from the Sony movies. So, like, who knows, man? Who knows what? Go ahead.
The Disney Marvel Universe version instead of the Sony. Not to hate on Sony.
Right, and it's not, I mean, honestly, they collaborate well.
Yeah.
Like, there were some things that were done right in the Sony Spider-Man movie. Like, that Spider-Verse movie is off the chain good.
Oh, like, dude, that's funny. I just watched that Saturday night.
Oh, it's so good, dude. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's one of the best Spider-Man movies, period. Out of, like, the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Spider-Man movies, like, that's in the top 3, I think. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's killer.
It felt like you're watching a comic book, too. It was cool. Like, I like how they did that.
Yeah. I'm not, and usually DC smashes, I think, out on the animation tip. I think DC is usually far superior on the animations, but that kind of level the playing field a bit.
Yeah, and like, well, I talked with another friend of mine earlier about the What If series, which is the animated series. I don't know if you got a chance to look at that yet, but I think that's going to be pretty awesome too. So I'd like to see if Marvel can kind of. They never used to be that great at animation. I mean, they did good in the '90s with the Spider-Man and X-Men, but they're nowhere near DC when it comes to like these animated films and stuff.
Yeah, like. When I remember I saw, I know this is a Marvel podcast, but I remember I saw that Green Lantern one. I was like, not even hip to Green Lantern really. And I was like, oh, they're cussing? Oh, people are actually like really dying? Or like the Flashpoint paradox? I was like, oh, they're going to kill people.
Oh, yeah, the Flashpoint paradox was so good, man.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was so awesome. They just kill it. DC does kill it. And maybe now we're going to see Marvel step their game up animation-wise. Like, I hope so.
I would imagine.
I really hope so. Like they've kind of dominated. I think personally, the movie scene. It's kind of been like Marvel is really good at movies, and DC is really good at series and animation. Like
DC is like catching up though. I will say that with their movies.
Yeah, no doubt. And so that's why I'm hoping that Marvel does the same in the animation realm.
Yeah, and in the series realm, because like you have all those like WB shows that they're all right in the first 3 seasons are great, but after that's like all right. I'm
right. But the thing is that as much as old guys like me and you, like, we sour on it, after a little while, it's like those series smash. I mean, they get so much ratings. They have such a huge fan base. It's crazy. Like that. They're all going 7, 8 seasons. Like no problem.
Yeah. Like I still think that what's his name, Grant. I don't want to fuck his name up, but Grant Gustin. I still think he should be like the DC Universe's Flash. Like
I do too.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, and they're saying that they're gonna bring Marvel's Daredevil from Netflix into the MCU.
Yeah, see that would be cool.
That Kingpin as well.
Well, what's cool is I don't know if it'll be permanent, but definitely with this multiverse that they're doing, they can bring in people from everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, that oh my God. Can you imagine like the old Eric Bana Hulk showing up? Or like, they can do that. They could do that now.
Dude, that would be pretty dope.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This whole thing, they dropped all these trailers. I got excited, man.
Yeah. And also with this multiverse, I think it's how to bring the X-Men into the universe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Eventually, that's how I think they're going to have to do it. I think, I don't think we're going to see any X-Men for a while. They've already, I don't know if you saw this, but they finally announced a Fantastic Four movie. So that's for sure like the first thing that's coming. Like before there's an X-Men or an X-Men character movie, like they're doing a Fantastic Four.
That might be a bridge.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see that Fantastic Four before we see any kind of X-Men movie, but we might be able to see some other cool shit. Like we might see some X-Men in these series or something.
Yeah.
Or like
maybe
not X-Men, but like they might refer to stuff that has to do with mutants. Like they might talk about Weapon X or something like that.
Right.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
So overall, you're excited about Loki.
Yeah, when that scene when he's got his horns and he's in the suit and double flips his knives, it's like, okay.
Yeah, okay. And then at the end when he's like, come on, what did you expect? Like,
exactly.
Because that is the Loki. And you know what's funny is, like, you and I were talking about how, like, oh, now we had the good Loki before he died, you know, right? But really, did we really have a good Loki? Like, he's still always a little bit like he's looking out for himself. He's still the god of mischief.
Well, yeah, he's Loki. He's gonna do gangster shit. Like, even his attempt to kill Thanos was on some sly movement. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he was like, we're gonna throw hands, boy. He was like, let me just slide in and stab you. You know, some like stealth, like I'm gonna pledge my allegiance and stab you. Like, you know, it's not like that's Loki. You know, like
he's a trickster. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, like, and what's crazy though, he's like, you know, he's an Asgardian. I mean, he's an ice giant, but, you know, he's an Asgardian. Like, he is really strong. Like, you know, like, he catches freaking Hawkeye's arrow. He can throw hands and beat ass, you know.
And when he has that Tesseract, he's, like, unstoppable, dude. So, I mean, obviously he's not going to be holding on to it, I don't think, in this series, because that time variance authority, like, seems like they have him captured and working for them. But, that's right. I didn't even mention, though, but Owen Wilson.
Oh, he's in it, right?
Yeah, right there in the elevator. Like, he's the one that's introducing him to, like, the time variance authority.
I like him.
I do too, man. It's hilarious. And he's like, and just the stuff that he did when they were in the elevator, it was so Owen Wilson. Like, he was talking about how he's like, he said something to the guy about, like, you're going to talk or whatever, and he's like, oh, well, I don't like talking.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, but you love lying, and you just did it, because we both know that you love talking. And then he does that little, like, talky thing. Like, it was such an Owen Wilson thing.
Yeah. That show's going to be killer for sure. I'm
just pumped that I care about it now, because I didn't, man. That was like the one that I was like, okay. Like the rest, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be sweet. But that one, I was like, all right, whatever. I think Loki dying kind of made me appreciate Loki more for some reason. Like, I didn't care about him that much, like a lot of people did in the first couple movies and stuff, like in Avengers and stuff. But when he died, then I was like, you know what? He was a cool fucking character. He really was.
Yeah. It's because of the dichotomy of him being like, you know, just feeling mistreated as the you know, like he feels misunderstood, and, you know, and he's bad for the sake of being bad, but then, like, you know.
Well, the best villains have always been the ones that weren't. Yeah, they're misunderstood. Like, they had a good side, or sometimes they were a good guy. You know what I mean? They had some qualities, admirable qualities, but, you know, sometimes they acted out of sorts. Like, those are the best ones, the ones that you can relate to a little bit, rather than being those, like, 1940s villains that were just all bad all the time, evil. You know, there was no redemption. It's boring,
I don't like feeling good. I like feeling evil.
Right. It's like it's boring. Dude. It's boring as hell, right? Like when someone's just evil for the sake of being evil.
Right.
It gets boring. So.
Oh yeah, and then Spider-Man Sinister 6. Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be coming.
And they're saying that Tobey Maguire's Doc Ock is the one that's coming back.
Yes. Yep, I saw that. And then Jamie Foxx is supposed to be coming back. They're supposed to be bringing back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. So this is going to be wild, dude. It's going to be wild.
And the guy said, hey, you stole Spider-Man's pizzas.
What's that?
The guy said, hey, Spider-Man stole that guy's pizzas.
Oh, yeah.
He's also supposed to be back.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I saw that and I was like, all right.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap this thing up, and I will talk to you again in a few minutes on our podcast, Long Lost Brothers.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Yeah, anytime.
Later.
All right. What I do on this channel is every day I pick a random topic, something that I'm interested in, It's usually entertainment or pop culture related, but it can be about anything. Sometimes it's just random thoughts that I have. Sometimes it's, ridiculous stories from my past. But every day I try to put something out, some sort of content. I'm not perfect, but most days I'm putting out some content. So if you can vibe with that, if that's something that you would like to get something new in your feed every day, a random topic, then please subscribe to the YouTube channel, or favorite or follow the podcast. And if you decide to stick around, if you decide to favorite or follow the podcast or subscribe to the YouTube channel, then I'll talk to you again tomorrow.